What is your favorite dystopian movie? And also, what is it about that genre that you enjoy about it? I like that it feels like a subgenre of the horror movie, but I am interested to hear what you say. So, let's get 5 minutes up on the board and talk about the newest dystopian movie, Finch. I enjoyed this while it was on, and the days that have passed, I kind of feel like Finch is a very charming but also a very harmless movie. I love desert dystopian movies. I like them because I feel like it's a very existential genre that lives in the world of horror, and all of your characters have to find hope in ultimately a time of total hopelessness. I also feel like you normally get great movies in this genre because you're forced to address things that make for really good stories. You're forced to tell a story about individuality. Your character has to be strong enough to carry the story on their own, and each character that you introduce has to be strong enough to rival that main character. You also have to create a world. You can check out my Alien review where I talk about this thing. You have to dive fully into world building. Your world has to be unique because you are almost literally starting with a blank slate. You cannot escape the backstory. You have to create one. It's baked into the cake of this genre. That's why I think it is a reliable genre for unique storytelling, because you have to create and address things that you need in great storytelling. I think Mad Max has this, The Road has this, Snowpiercer has this, Silent Running has this. I feel like that's an inherent principle in the dystopian genre. My problem with this one is that it is a very light version of the dystopian story. Tom Hanks is the unique character that you get, but he's playing Tom Hanks. He's playing that resourceful and charming everyman. You're essentially getting the castaway character. The threat in dystopian movies is also always unpredictable, and that's part of what makes them exciting. There's even a scene in this movie where they talk about how the threat is predictable. That's part of what feeds into the Tom Hanks character, which I think takes some of the fun out of this movie because it makes the threat predictable. The goal in this movie is a very safe and family-friendly goal. He is wanting to keep himself and his dog safe, and he's teaching an AI robot to keep the dog alive, he says, whenever Finch is not around anymore. So when we're talking... And when I mean AI, we're not talking about the type of AI that brings up questions you have in 2001 or Blade Runner. This is very much a comedic relief type of artificial intelligence. This doesn't meet the requirements of what I'd say you want from just a basic, regular dystopian movie. It's actually a little bit more of a regression in terms of just like, okay, this is more of a road movie type thing. It doesn't feel like it is telling a dystopian story. And I do also understand that might sound a lot like, oh, you don't want something that's, new and exciting. You want something that's just kind of generic in terms of the brand of what you think this genre is supposed to be. I feel like this genre actually encourages for unique storytellings. Dystopian movies are very different and distinct. There are very few that feel exactly the same. The problem with this one is that it almost feels like it's a road movie living inside of a dystopian movie. Sure, there's a threat, but it's predictable. You never really feel like anyone is in actual danger. Every time they kind of get close to being in danger, they always kind of buffer it in a way that you would get with a kid's movie. It's a cute movie, I would say. It's a cute movie. I think the last 15 minutes of it are not very good. Feels a little forced, like the movie has boxes that it's ticking off before things close out. It's not offensive, but it's also not very memorable. Finch does its job. I can't imagine that I'm really going to want to watch this again, but it's an innocent movie, and if you're with the family over the holiday, it might be a good choice. So what are your thoughts on Finch? Do you think that it succeeds in what it's trying to do? Did you enjoy it while watching it? Let me know in the comments, and as always, please be sure to subscribe to 5 Minute Critic for future updates on reviews and movie news.